Here we have two quadratic functions. In the system of equations above, a, b and c are integer constants and the two equations have the same x-intercepts. If the x-intercepts are integer values, what is the value of c? Using the given information, we have to get the value of this constant c. Okay, now to get x-intercepts of these two quadratic functions, I have to plug in 0 for y over here and here. Okay, when I do it in the first function, I am getting ax square negative 72x positive c equals to 0. Let me do the same thing in the second one. That is, I'm going to plug in 0 for y. Then I'm getting x square negative bx positive 18 equals to 0. Here, I have two quadratic equations in standard form. That is, ax square positive bx positive c equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation in standard form. When I solve this quadratic equation, I'll be getting two values for x. The same thing I'll be getting for the second one as well. Okay, let's say x1 and x2 are the two solutions of the first quadratic equation. I mean, these are the two values of x in this quadratic equation. That is, this x1 and x2 are the two x-intercepts of the first quadratic function, because we got these values x1 and x2 by plugging in y equals to 0. And the information says both the functions have the same x-intercepts. That is, the solutions of both the quadratic equations are same. So already we have assumed x1 and x2 are the two solutions for the first quadratic equation. The same solutions I will have for the second one as well. Okay, now let's consider one important stuff over here. The two quadratic equations have the same solutions. Whenever two quadratic equations have the same solutions, then the quadratic expression in one of the equations has to be a multiple of the quadratic expression in the other equation. When I consider the first term of the quadratic expression we have over here, a times x square. When I consider the quadratic expression, the second one, we just have x square. When I multiply this x square by a, that is equal to ax square. That is, a times of this quadratic expression is equal to the quadratic expression we have over here in the first equation. Okay, let me write it. Let me take the quadratic expression in the first equation, that is ax square negative 72x positive c. It must be equal to a times of the quadratic expression in the second one, that is a times x square negative bx positive 18. Okay, ax square negative 72x positive c. On the right side, we can distribute this a, then we get ax square negative abx positive 18a. Now, two quadratic expressions are equal. Whenever two expressions are equal, the coefficients of like terms must be equal and also the constant terms must be equal. Here the coefficient of x square is a, here the coefficient of x square is a. Now let's consider the coefficient of x on the left side, that is negative 72. It must be equal to the coefficient of x on the right side, that is negative ab. Now let's consider the constant term on the left side, that is c. The constant term on the right side is 18a. So c must be equal to 18a. Our aim is to get the value of c. Here almost we got the value of c, but in the value of c, there is an unknown constant a. So now my aim is to get the value of a. Once I get the value of a, it can be multiplied by 18 to get the value of the constant c. Okay, here in this equation we have a. Let's solve for a in this equation. For that we have to divide both sides by negative b. Let me do it. So here this negative will cancel out, b will cancel out. Here this negative will cancel out. We get 72 over b equals to a. Now let me consider the quadratic equation we have over here in standard form. Already we know that when I solve a quadratic equation, I'll be getting two solutions. I mean, I'll be getting two values for x. There is a formula to get sum of the solution, and also there is a formula to get a product of the solutions. Let me write the formula to get sum of the two solutions. That is negative b over a. I have to take a negative sign, divide the coefficient of x by the coefficient of x square. Now let me write the formula to get product of the two solutions. For that, we have to divide the constant term c by the coefficient of x square. Then we get c over a. Now, let me consider the second quadratic equation we have over here, because my aim is to get the value of b. So, the second quadratic equation contains b, and for this quadratic equation, the two solutions are x1 and x2. Now, let's get the sum of the two solutions x1 and x2. That is x1 positive x2 equals to, we have to take a negative sign and we have to take b. B means the coefficient of x. Here the coefficient of x is negative b over a means the coefficient of x square. Here the coefficient of x square is 1. Then we have x1 positive x2 equals to negative times negative is positive, positive b over 1. B over 1 is just b. Now let's get the product of the two solutions x1 and x2. Then we have x1 times x2 equals to c over a. That is, we have to divide the constant of 18 by the coefficient of x square 1. Then we have 18 over 1. We have x1 times x2 equals to 18 over 1 is 18. Okay, now let's take, let's get some values for x1 and x2 so that the product of x1 and x2 is equal to 18. And here this x1 and this x2, both of them are x-intercepts of the second quadratic function. And the information says the x-intercepts are integer values. So we have to assume only integer values for x1 and x2. Okay, let's take x1 equals to 3 and x2 equals to 6. Because when I take 3 and 6, 3 times 6 is that is equal to 18. Okay, for x1 equals to 3 and x2 equals to 6, what is the value of b? We have to plug in 3 for x1 and 6 for x2. In that case, I am getting b equals to 9. Okay, now let's plug in this value 9 for b over here. Then I'm getting 72 over 9 equals to a. 72 over 9 is 8. I'm getting a equals to 8. Now, let's consider the information a, b, and c are integer constants. The x-intercepts are integer values. Here we have integer values for x1 and x2. We have taken integer values for x-intercepts. In that case, I am getting 9 as a value for b. This 9 is an integer. When I take b equals to 9, I am getting a equals to 8. This 8 is also integer. So the values we have taken over here for x1 and x2, the value I got for b, over here the value I got for a. All of them are integer values. So they satisfy the condition given over here in the information. Okay, when a equals to 8, what is the value of c? Let's plug in 8 for a over here. Then I'm getting c equals to 18 times 8. Then c equals to 18 times 8 is 144. Here I got the value of c, that is 144. I find this value in answer choice D. So answer choice D must be correct. Anyways, we have to think about other possible values for x1 and x2 such that the product of x1 and x2 equals to 18. Okay, now let me consider some other integer values for x1 and x2. Let me consider x1 equals to negative 3. In that case, the value of x2 must be negative 6. So that negative 3 times negative 6 equals to positive 18. When I take negative 3 and negative 6 as values for x1 and x2, what is the value of b? So we have to plug in negative 3 for x1, negative 6 for x2. Then I am getting negative 9 for b. When I plug in negative 9 for b over here in this equation, I am getting negative 8 as the value of a. When I take a equals to negative 18, then the value of c over here in this equation will be negative 144 because 18 times negative a is negative 144. But in the given answer choices, we find only positive values for c. So when I take negative values for both x1 and x2, I am getting a negative value for c. It's not possible according to the given answer choices. Okay, now let's consider some other possible values for x1 and x2. Okay, now let's take only positive values for x1 and x2. Let me take x1 equals to 2. In that case, x2 equals to 9. So 2 times 9 is 18. So when I take x1 equals to 2 and x2 equals to 9, I am getting b equals to 11. When I take b equals to 11 over here, I am getting 72 over 11 equals to a. But this is not an integer. So because the information says a is an integer value, here when I take x1 equals to 2 and x2 equals to 9, I am not getting an integer value for a. We can reject this pair of values for x1 and x2. Okay, now let me assume x equals to 1. In that case, x2 equals to 18. Here both of them are integer values. 1 times 18 is 18. Okay, for these values of x1 and x2, we get b equals to 19. 1 plus 18, 19. When I plug in b equals to 19 over here, I am getting 72 over 19 equals to a. Again, this is not an integer. Okay, so here I considered all possible values for x1 and x2. Only for these values, x1 equals to 3 and x2 equals to 6, I am getting a positive integer value for c, that is 144. I find this 144 in answer choice D. So the correct answer choice for this question is D.